Inside alongside Royce Young, I'm Paris Lawson, and you'll notice that we have a very familiar face joining us here in Phoenix today, Chris Fisher, the voice of Thunder broadcasts. And Chris, immediately, I just want to get your takeaways from this series overall. Spotless performance by Oklahoma City, 4-0 sweep, and each game a little bit different, but what were your takeaways?
This looked like a very well-oiled machine that had been in the postseason really over the last 3 years and came in with a mission. When I'm watching the Thunder play, I'm seeing things that I saw all regular season on so many different levels on both ends of the floor, whether that's SGA's efficiency, guys getting to their spots, A.J. Mitchell driving to the cup, Cason Wallace making a play on defense, Alex Caruso doing what he does on both ends of the floor, the big-to-big lobs, all that kind of stuff. Like I felt like I was watching what I had been watching all regular season, and to take that up a notch in the postseason, to take that up and play at a whole nother level, Phoenix couldn't match it. As much as Phoenix tried, it was just too much OKC precision night after night. I mean, I don't know if you guys have mentioned this over the last two nights, but these last two games, these two games here in Phoenix, the Suns didn't give them a push at all. Like, the Thunder controlled all 48 minutes. There was a little bit of noise there in the third quarter tonight, but the way that the Thunder were able to control all four games, that was one of the most impressive things to me.
Fish, I want to ask you about just this game four. You mentioned it, just the way that the Thunder played throughout it. I thought this was the best game Phoenix probably played. Maybe some of that has to do with shot making. They shot the ball really well throughout it. But what did you see from OKC in this closeout environment of kind of battling against some of that shot making from Phoenix?
Well, the shot making really stood out early in the game, right? I mean, they were 8 out of 16, I think, early on. But we've seen this Thunder team understand how long a game goes, and like we've seen so many times, they're not going to probably stay at 50% over the course of the game. It slowed down in that second half. But the thing that the Thunder do well, and they did this a little bit in Game 3, was even when they found that deficit early on, is they just stick to their game.
Yeah.
You know this, Royce and Perry. Like, they stick to their game. They got a full 48 minutes. They're going to go out there and execute play after play, staying in the moment, as Mark Daigneault says. And so I don't think the threes, regardless of who was taking them for Phoenix, phased them at all. And it just felt like OKC was in control the entire night. They were up by double digits. Devin Booker, he was efficient. He was 50%. But it didn't feel like a Devin Booker game. It didn't feel like a Dylan Brooks game. There was nobody else that could step up and sort of pick up the scoring for Phoenix to ultimately give them enough momentum to get over the hump. So the three-point shooting, it was hot, but...
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. The Oklahoma City Thunder are moving on. They swept the Phoenix Suns 4-0 in the first round. 4 games, 4 wins, not a single loss. And they did it on the road in Game 4. The crew on ESPN started breaking down what makes this Thunder team so special. And Chris Fisher, the voice of the Thunder broadcast, called it a spotless performance. Let me show you exactly what they said. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break this down because the Thunder looked like a well-oiled machine. Chris Fisher said, "This looked like a very well-oiled machine that had been in the postseason really over the last 3 years and came in with a mission." And that is exactly right. The Thunder have now won 12 straight first-round games, 3 straight sweeps. New Orleans, Memphis, Phoenix. They have not lost a first-round game in 3 years. That is dominance. Fisher said, "When I'm watching the Thunder play, I'm seeing things that I saw all regular season on so many different levels on both ends of the floor. Whether that's SGA's efficiency, guys getting to their spots, A.J. Mitchell driving to the cup, Cason Wallace making a play on defense, Alex Caruso doing what he does on both ends of the floor, the big-to-big lobs." He said, "Phoenix couldn't match it. As much as Phoenix tried, it was just too much OKC precision night after night." And that is the key. The Thunder do not have one weakness. They have SGA, the MVP front run. They have A.J. Mitchell, who is playing like a veteran in his second year. They have Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and Cason Wallace making life miserable for opposing guards. They have Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein dominating the glass. And they have depth. Aaron Wiggins, Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace. Everyone contributes. Now, let's talk about the defense. The crew broke down how the Thunder defend perimeter players. Lou Dort, Casson Wallace, and Alex Caruso take turns making life hell for Devin Booker. Royce Young said, "Lou Dort does such a great job. It's not that he forces great offensive players into necessarily bad shooting nights, but he often just takes them out of their ability to get looks." Chris Fisher added, "Offensive players want to feel comfortable. They want to be in rhythm. They want to get to their spots. And guys like Lou Dort and Alex Caruso and Casson Wallace make you uncomfortable. If I was an offensive player, they're the last players I'd want to have to go up against on a nightly basis." And here is the killer detail. Even within a single possession, the Thunder can switch defenders. You try to screen Lou Dort off Devin Booker? Congratulations. Now you have Casson Wallace. You figure out Casson Wallace? Now you have Alex Caruso. And then Lou Dort again. There is no break. There is no weak link. Now, let's talk about SGA. He finished with another 30-plus point performance. 10 of 17 from the field. Efficient as always. And Royce Young pointed out something that often gets overlooked. He said, one of the underrated superpowers of SGA is the timeliness in which he hits shots. He pointed to a moment in the second quarter where Phoenix built a small lead. Thunder called timeout. Coming out of that timeout, SGA just hits a three. It was a silencer. On the road. In a closeout game. That is what MVPs do. But here is what impressed me the most. The Thunder's poise. In the final minutes of Game 4, Phoenix was playing with desperation. They were pressing full court. They were being physical. They were trying to force turnovers. And the Thunder did not panic. They did not try to hit home runs. They did not take bad shots. They ran the clock. They spread the floor. They played 4-on-4. They trusted their teammates. And they closed the game without ever letting Phoenix back in it. Royce Young said, "That's poise and composure. It's trust in your teammates." That's a hard situation to be in because the officials start to let things play a little more physically. Phoenix is very handsy trying to force turnovers. And the Thunder just handled it. Chris Fisher added, Alex Caruso caught a pass in the corner with about 2 minutes to go. He was wide open. In a lot of situations, a lot of players would have been like, "It's dagger time right here, baby." Caruso had knocked down shots all game. He was hot. And he calmly swung it back out to the top and reset it. That's winning mentality. That's what it takes to close out a game. So, what? T is next for the Thunder? They will face either the Los Angeles Lakers or the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference semifinals. Chris Fisher said, Houston is a lot more defensive-oriented, and the Lakers are much more offensive-oriented. Either way, the Thunder will be ready. They have time off. They have experience. They have depth. And they have SGA. I want to know what you think. Can the Thunder repeat as champions? And who do you want to see them face in the next round? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.